Pew 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 pew. Welcome back to another video. Shout out to Tentacle underscore guy one. He was the last person to follow me on Twitch. Um, yes, I appreciate him, man. Bro, I got my boy at the top of the screen. Y'all see Tentacle underscore guy one. If you want to be featured on the top of the screen, make sure you follow me on Twitch. Follow me on YouTube. I shout out both of them. I swear. Um. Anyways. Let's get right to it. We got this video right here. This is how to make any boring conversation flirty. I don't know. It might help me. Might help y'all. It's gonna help me. It's gonna help me. Let's see what they talking about. I ain't never checked out these guys. This guy's named Coach Kyle. You can't just have that name and not be.
Do you have boring, platonic, logical conversation that's leading absolutely nowhere?
Honestly,
Right.
I'm gonna go.
For real? In this video, I'm going to show you how to transition from
You know what? I'm
boring
gonna
and
go.
logical
I've never
all the way
seen
up
a girl
to
say that.
flirtatious man-to-woman communication that gets women hooked into your conversations.
Step one is going to be your vibe and your enthusiasm.
This is a necessary, fundamental piece that every man needs to have in his communication. There's so many dudes that will ask me, like, what's the best topic of conversation? And at the end of the day, it's like, I could talk about the same topics that you talk about with a girl. Your girl will be bored and falling asleep. My girl will be heavily engaged in the conversation because it's not necessarily the topic. It's all about the vibe and enthusiasm. So if I'm talking about a boring topic, but I'm bored when I'm talking about it, my body language is bored and my voice is whack, the girl's gonna be disengaged.
The number one way I notice somebody's like awkward is like not smiling, like having a stone face.
There's a lot of emotion that comes out of your face, not the words, but your actual face is what can create a certain vibe and enthusiasm, believe it or not. If I just talk like this, or if I'm just talking to you like this, it's not triggering anything like while I'm talking. Even though my voice might actually go up and down, you don't feel the same emotion because my face is just very flat.
Next thing I notice is definitely the voice, like being monotone.
I've actually never been to Italy. I've been wanting to go to Italy.
Italy's amazing.
Yeah.
You definitely should go.
I've been wanting to, honestly. I've been meaning to book a trip. My friends wanted to go too. Anytime you talk to somebody and they're boring, it's because there's no burst of emotion coming out. There's no emotion on their face, and they talk with a monotoned or low volume voice. It's probably a combination of these. So the more you can be aware of these different elements and remove them from your communication, start adding that emotion, add a little bit of a smile, talk with a certain level of enthusiasm, we're already starting to get away from boring conversation.
Now let's move into step two, teasing.
So now that we have some level of enthusiasm and a vibe building up in the conversation, that's definitely a positive step. However, that alone is just gonna result in friendly conversation. Over the course of an interaction, you want a nice mixture of positive and negative emotions. So if it's only positive and very complimentary, that's when you start to get this kind of nice guy type interaction, and you most likely will end up getting friend zoned. Too much negative, you're gonna come off as like a dick or an asshole. And I like teasing because it gives a nice balance of both throughout the interaction.
One of the easiest ways to tease is to playfully disagree.
I am a die-hard Giants fan.
Dude, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Why?
I could not watch a Giants game.
And this is a great step because most nice guys that have friendly conversation, they're afraid to disagree with the girl. They're afraid to like give a negative emotional spike. You're kind of like walking on eggshells in the conversation.
I haven't eaten meat in about like 5 years. So bad for the environment, and the animals are tortured,
Oh.
and it's just, yeah. What about you? Do you eat meat? It's all good if you do.
No, I mean, I've considered being vegan.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I consider being vegan. I could see it happening.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm open to it. Salads and stuff like that. Yeah.
Now keep in mind, there's a certain vibe when it
Nah,
comes
I be
to
like,
teasing.
bro, I
You're
eat
going
meat
back
all
into
the time,
that
bro. What you talking
boring,
about? I can't.
logical
Nah.
vibe. When you're disagreeing,
I get my
it's done
protein.
in a playful way, enthusiastically. Like, what? No way. No way. Are you serious? Nah, you're fucking lying. Okay, so there's a vibe to disagreeing with the girl, because when you do it in a serious way, it just becomes a debate, or it's weird, or people might take it
Right.
personally. When you do it in a fun, engaging way, where you're kind of like giving the girl a little bit of shit, she falls into that frame, and that's what creates that fun back and forth banter.
Another way to tease the girl is to tell her why it's not going to work out between you two.
What's
Giants, actually.
Stop.
Yeah, why?
Stop.
You too?
No. I gotta go. I gotta go.
What?
Don't take it personal, but
No.
yeah, honestly, Giants.
Why?
It goes against the girl's experience of what most men are doing. Instead of trying to explain to her why it's gonna work, it's actually saying, nah, this isn't gonna work. If the girl's already enjoying you and going along with the playful banter, it's not uncommon that she may start to fall into that frame too and try to prove herself to you.
I just think it's so funny when it's like, oh, you're a Mets fan? Nah, we can never be together.
I also think being able to tease the girl is a necessary step to bridge the gap from just friendly vibing all the way up to flirtatious man to woman communication. It's that nice half step in between that already gets the energy flowing, and then to transition into actual flirting is not a big jump.
And lastly, step number 3, flirting.
I think dudes
Here we go.
overcomplicate this thing. They put a lot of pressure.
I think
on
I got the
to
first 2
be
steps, but
intent. They put a lot of pressure
I don't
on
know
the
about
girl
the
when they're
last.
trying to hit on her. It ends
This
up
one.
just making
Let's see
her
what
feel
this one's all
uncomfortable.
about.
I think the easiest way is to just sprinkle in the word cute into the conversation. At the beginning of a date, you could say, "You look really cute tonight, by the way." And in the conversation, you could say, "Wow, that was so cute the way you did that right there." One of the easiest techniques I like to use is just a push-pull. Something like, "You're cute, but blank." And if you've already been teasing the girl, you can just fill in that blank with whatever you've already been teasing her. And that
It's
makes
true.
it a very small, easy
I don't know about
step
them
to go
shoes.
from, "I'm just
I don't
teasing
know.
you," into, "You're cute, but the
something like
tease."
that, I guess.
Cocky? No.
You're cute, but you're cocky.
No, you're cocky.
And then the last thing to understand is that there's also a certain vibe to flirting and to man-to-woman communication. By slowing down your speech when you're delivering a flirtatious or intentful line, it's gonna help create tension. You wanna be able to create a little bit of tension while you're delivering flirtatious lines. And that's done with the eye contact, the smile, the delivery, nice slow rhythm with a downward pitch. All right, and when you do that properly, if you've already done the steps before this, that should hit really powerful. It's gonna hit the girl on an emotional level, and that's how you create attraction. If you want help with this, guys, click the link in the description, fill out the application for an opportunity to work with me personally. Peace out.
Alright.
3 ways to
Watch
playfully
this as well.
tease women.
Alright, it's
I'm going
only
to be
6
demonstrating
minutes.
3 techniques for you to start using right now in conversation to spark more emotion and to get women hooked into your interactions. I've also thrown in a bonus move at the end of this video that stacks on top of these techniques to create a really powerful result.
Let's get into technique number 1, sarcastically agreeing or playfully disagreeing.
This is the first technique because in my opinion, I think this is the easiest way to break out of that emotionless conversation. See, most dudes make the mistake of when they're in an interaction with a girl, it becomes very boring, very logical, and there's really no emotion. If they're talking to a girl, they might say something like, "Oh, you do that for work? Nice. Cool. Oh, you live there? Yeah, I live 30 minutes from there. How long have you been out here?
My whole life.
What do you think of the area?
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do for fun?
Ride my bike.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I gotta go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ends up staying on a very boring,
Feel like that. You would-
statistical level almost, where they're just exchanging facts and stats about each other. And so what you want to do is create a pattern interrupt to break out of that factual talk, and this can be done by either sarcastically agreeing or playfully disagreeing. As you can see, it's not so much about the facts or the words that are being discussed.
Yeah, so the words aren't as important. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. So teasing a girl is usually based on the emotions being created.
So you could say things like, "What? No way. Shut up. Ew, bye. Yeah, okay. Liar." This will naturally instigate a response from her and create that back and forth fun teasing vibe.
Let's move into technique number 2, exaggerated assumption.
This is where you take a concept about the girl. It could be an observation or a piece of information that you find out during the conversation. You're gonna take that concept and then exaggerate it about the girl.
So the idea is, if this is true, then what else can we assume to be true about her?
And ideally, it's either a fun or funny concept that you could tease the girl on in either the positive or in the negative. So for example, I had a client who was out recently and he doesn't like to drink, so he was just drinking water. And the girl he was talking to commented that she was also just drinking water. Now, most dudes would just get into a boring, logical talk in the conversation about water.
Are you drinking water too?
Yeah.
Nice. Just having a sober night or?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't really like to drink during the weekday.
Yeah, I got you. Me too.
All I would say is
But
I'm not
instead
really
of
drink.
boring water talk, we can take the concept of sobriety and make an exaggerated assumption about that.
Exactly. So when the girl replied that she was just drinking water, my client actually then said, oh, so I guess I'm not gonna have to like catch you from falling over later or anything. So he took that concept and then exaggerated it and made it about the girl in an emotional way. And surprisingly, the girl actually came back with a very witty response, and she said, no, don't worry, you're not gonna have to like hold my hair back over the toilet or anything. And that's actually why this concept is so powerful, is because when you deliver it in a teasing, fun way, it's not uncommon that the girl will actually respond back in that same playful, fun manner.
I feel like most guys can tease once or twice, but eventually the vibe always fizzles out.
Exactly. So guys, be sure to watch this video to the end, because the next 2 techniques, I'm gonna show you how to take these teases and be able to continue to build off of it. That way you can keep the girl hooked through the entire interaction.
Let's move on to technique number 3, the conclusion.
Since we've already been teasing and making assumptions about the girl, the next thing that we can do is make a conclusion about her. And this is pretty much just like a 1 or 2 word nickname that's like fun or funny, or teasing her based on something that's going on in the conversation. So some easy general conclusions that you guys can start to play around with are the ideas of the girl being the brat, the princess, feisty face, hippie stoner girl, church girl, or the party girl.
So you can make up a nickname based off any concept during the conversation that's teasing and funny, kind of like a joke.
So if the girl tells me she lives somewhere that's like out in the middle of nowhere, my conclusion's like, oh, so you were like raised on a cornfield. If she was late for work because she was out the night before, well then she ends up being the irresponsible party girl. If she's being very goody two-shoes kind of a girl, well then she's church girl. See, most men get caught up in the boring statistical facts of the conversation, and so by making conclusions, it takes you away from that boring factual talk, and it brings the conversation back to being about the girl in a fun, teasing way. And so this works really well, especially when you stack it on with the final bonus technique.
Finally, the bonus move, technique number 4, callback humor.
So even if you were to just start using these first 3 techniques, your interactions would already be a lot better. However, if you just tease the girl a couple times and it ends there, well then you're leaving a lot of potential on the table.
And so this is where the callback humor comes into play.
Exactly, because once you tease the girl, if you were to bring up that concept again later on in the interaction, it becomes even more powerful.
And I really like this idea because
Sorry,
it's something that only you and the girl
my
know,
fault.
so it creates a connection between you guys since you have an inside joke going on.
So anytime there's something relevant to the initial tease, it doesn't need to be exact. As long as it's relevant, we can use callback humor. So earlier when the girl said, don't worry, you're not gonna have to like hold my hair over the toilet or anything, if later on she told me, hey, I'm actually gonna go use the bathroom really quick, we can use callback humor, and I would look at her with a smirk and say, do you need me to hold your hair back or are you good? And that would bring the conversation to a new level between the 2 of you guys.
It also makes the guy seem more clever and more witty, and girls love a guy who can make them laugh.
Another reason these techniques are so powerful is because once you start to categorize the girl a certain way, anytime something comes up that's relevant to that, good or bad, we can use callback humor in relation back to that initial tease. So if we were already teasing the
That
girl
does make
about being a
sense.
goody church girl, and then later on she does something good, it's like, obviously, church girl. Or then later on, if she does something bad, I'd be like, whoa, church girl. And so this is how you can create an ongoing joke that you can constantly revisit throughout the entire conversation to keep women hooked. Now, if you want to learn more about how to transition from teasing into flirting, be sure to check out the video I'm linking right here, and to apply to work with me directly.
I think that's the video we had just watched. It's crazy they just suggested it again. I thought they would have